Stupid, stupid beasties. You don't get to do that to me. I'm the hero. Stupid beasties. Let's try that again. Definitely digging. I actually switched from my PlayStation 2 controller through the dongle to, well, USB adapter, to an Xbox 360 controller with the wireless dongle. Yeah, there's where the word dongle was coming from in that sentence. Attempted sentence. Which I'm definitely enjoying a heck of a lot more in... Oh, I missed the chest. I would have missed the chest. In a lot of different ways. For one, it just doesn't feel as cheap. I'm actually not using it as a wireless controller, though, just because of my paranoia about wireless things and losing connections mid-game. But, you know, I could probably unplug it without too much problems. I'm just not sure how good this battery is. Mostly because I let it rot for too long. Revolver was obtained! Only issue with this is that I'd have to use joypadder to have the trigger buttons work, and I feel too lazy to get that set up. I'm still using the same configuration I was using before. The only thing that really bugs me about this controller is that since every controller since the Super Nintendo has paid it homage in some way, shape, or form, it's just somewhat bothersome when a controller tries to use the same buttons, but in the wrong placement. Anyone who looked at one of these before knows what I mean. X should be the one at the top, not Y. That's all I'm gonna say. And I know Nintendo didn't invent the alphabet, but it did invent putting X, Y, B, and A on a controller. There's no C like Sega would have used back in the day. But I will leave that for another gamer to go into at some point, perhaps irately. Ow! Not irately, I don't really like the irate video game nerd. But you know what I mean. Perhaps angrily would be a better word. Yeah. I am a big fan of that guy. He's funny. But, yeah, no, I'm sorry, my commentary is sucking right now because I'm really close to Dad's store, and I really don't want to do this again. This is really just... I find this... The dungeon is not bad, but the music is boring, and I really like East music. I mean, there's some people who literally only play the games because they like the music, or at least that's the first reason that they're playing the games. So to have boring music in a dungeon makes it harder to care. Plus, we're really close to some really exciting stuff, and I don't want to die here. But, here we go. Very meaningful save point. So we'll just throw down a save there. Ooh, here we go. And what do we have here? Ooh, a worm. Istersiva, the corrupted crystal mutant. Now, I don't really know better than that, too. Ow. Yeesh, I'm just not at my best right now. So those little things that it shoots out? Well, let's see if I can let it demonstrate. They shoot lasers using the lovely little part sticking out of the wall over there. Istersiva, the corrupted crystal mutant. Those little things it shoots out? Yeah, they reflect the lasers that come off of the wall, so you really don't want to let them stay alive. They don't do a lot of damage, but they also, the more important thing, when none of them are out, the main worm thing gets distracted by trying to create more of them. And that's what's important. This lag I'm getting from this battle is not fun. Getting a lot of lag. Istersiva, the corrupted crystal mutant. This boss is definitely a fun one, a great one to have the double jump for. You don't want to get too close to him when he's not doing anything, because, well, while it likes to spit these little suckers out, and they are definitely a hassle, ow, you can take advantage of that to be able to get some hits in using our lovely, most recently enhanced power. But you you don't want to stay too close to it all the time, because, well, it does lots of damage, and it has a nice good range on it. Those little things shoot off lasers at you. You can ignore them for the most part, but you don't really want to, because of the fact that he just keeps shooting out more if they die. But only took out half the health, but now the crystal things are dead, and there we go. The true source of the boss, that thing. You can attack the tail that's lobbing those little things around, but you don't really do a lot of damage. And you'll be too close for when it decides to launch out its attacks. That little thing on the inside is Istersiva's true form, and that's what we want to kill. That's the corrupted crystal mutant. And when it does that, it's either going to fling them out, or sometimes it'll actually wrap them around itself and rush around the room. On higher difficulties, it moves faster, does a lot of damage, and yeah, you won't survive it hitting you. I find it usually easier to stay on the ground until it backs you into a corner. You can use air for this spot. It's just I don't find it really all that necessary. And I try to conserve magic in battles like this, where sometimes you will suddenly find it necessary in a pinch. All of its attacks like to explode. You really have to be careful with the radius. But we are getting very close to this little sucker being dead. And that's when, there's this other attack that it does when it does that. It shoots everything out. Yeah, we're very close, and I might not get this sucker. Oh, please. Yeah, whenever it shoots it out, you want to make sure it's not going to do that move. Because if you jump at it when it's doing that, you will get hurt. And I don't think I need to tell you, getting hurt in an East game is a losing proposition. Come on, you know you want to do it. Yeah, there we go. And Istersiva is dead. After I finally got not enough lag to be able to get through the first form, getting him gone, really not so bad. And from that, what do we get? The third statue, which glows so pleasantly. Darkness statue was obtained. Oh yeah. Darkness statue. And stay out. But we don't have to climb all the way back up. No. We can just do this. And hop right back over to Redmond. There's no reason not to. So, here we are, back in Redmond. You can't double jump in friendly areas. And what's this? Gardner's not at the front door. It looks like we've got a lot more monsters on our hands all of a sudden. They're all over Felghana instead of just in the quarry. Things could get rough with just Gardner protecting the town. By the way, you haven't seen Anya, have you? I noticed some Rival ore missing from my house. Wonder where she took it. Wonder if that's just a glitch or something. Never seen that happen before. Elena came to my house a little while ago. She had plenty to say, that's for certain. Most of it sounded just plain silly, to be honest, but it's kind of strange. She seems to be in much better spirits than before. Wonder what happened to improve her mood. Maybe it's because the skies have finally started clearing up. It's been hard keeping everyone's spirits up, what with what's been happening lately. Still, we can't just give up. Maybe he's all alone in the darkness of the quarry. I can't help thinking about it. Dear Lord, please let Bob rest peacefully. Please let him be with his parents in heaven. Ah, poor Ida. Don't worry, we'll make her even happier. Oh man, I can't believe I'm hungry at a time like this. Then I haven't been working much, so I haven't been eating as much either. Otto, please, you gotta wipe out those monsters. So, yeah, he's just gonna say the same thing again. Grr. I want to stop over here. As a merchant, I'm sure some of the items I stock have some power of the spirits. There are a lot of small islands out in the Sienna Bay. That's where the belief in the spirits is really deeply rooted. But well, these days, let's buy weapons and armor. But we don't really have sufficient gold. Aww, I like having sufficient gold. There's Gardner. Hey, if it isn't Otto, that's just the right time to get some maintenance done on your sword. I get the feeling that you might not have the chance to come back for it later. You know, my grandfather used to tell me. He said the Reval ore is somehow full of the power of the spirits. Well, he was always the old religious type. I've got no idea if those so-called spirits really exist or not. I can tell you what I know, though. That Reval ore somehow feels different than any ordinary old metal. Well, he was right. Very, very, very right. As you can tell, obviously, it's magical ore. We don't even have a source of food, much less any goods to trade. What are we supposed to do? I thought about leaving, but there are monsters everywhere outside. I'd never be able to make it and keep my family safe. Guy's got his priorities straight. Otto, I guess you and Dogi are about to head off to fight for all of Felghana. If there's anything at all we can do to help, just say the word. With everything you two are doing, we really can't sit back and do nothing. Maybe give me lots of money? I accept money. And money.
Hey, Mr. Otto, will you play with me?
Play? Yes.
Really? You're so awesome, mister. I want to play treasure hunt. Hid some treasure around the town, and you gotta find it, okay? You can find them all, I bet you'll like it. Now go and look. Hey, Mr. Otto, I got 4 pieces of treasure. Then I hid them all around town. Do you need a hint? Hid one in a garden. Not telling whose garden, though. Ooh, a garden.
Yes, it's a little bit of a side-tracking thing from the main quest. But hey, I mean, what's a little side-tracking anyway? Not like we don't have to go all around town. There's Antonio. I hear that Elder Mountains are not really a fit place for people to live. Probably because they're covered with snow all year round. But you know, I've heard there's supposed to be some kind of magical shoes or something up there. They say that if you wear them, you can walk on any surface without sliding or falling, no matter how slippery. Well, I'm a merchant. I have a weakness for unusual items like that. I certainly would like to see those shoes, if only just once. Yeah. Spoiler alert, you show it to him, he doesn't even actually notice. But that's impossible. You've already got that much. Well, looks like you really do. I'm amazed. Hey, have you ever given any thought to becoming a merchant? Would you be willing to sell 200 Reval to me for 10,000 gold? Yes. Alright, the deal is done. Here's your 10,000 gold. I'll receive 10,000 gold. Thanks to you, I can finish up this purchase. If I can sell this in Roman, I'll be a one-man monopoly. Wow, I really owe you for this. I know. How about I give you this? Jade ring was received. Yeah, it's not immensely valuable, but you should be able to get something good for it. Well, I don't know where it came from. I'm a businessman after all, and that sort of thing isn't my concern. Yeah, he just says the same thing. So we've got all the money we're gonna get out of him. Mr. Otto, there's something I want to ask you. My pickards haven't been feeling so good lately. I've checked them out, and it seems like they've gotten some kind of disease. I don't understand why. I've always taken good care of them. None of them have ever gotten sick before. They just keep getting weaker, and I'm afraid that they're going to die. There's an herb to cure sickness called the berm leaf. It grows in the mountains, but there are monsters everywhere there. I'd never make it. I don't know what to do. Well, what would you say about those pickards?
My pickards have become sickards!
What that? What's that? Yeah, that's actually the voice of Hugo from the game. See, X8 is awesome. They're the people who brought the Felghana for the PSP over to America, translated all that good stuff. Because, and here's the first treasure, they did some spoof sound effects. I'll link to where you can find them, the East Felghana site, but that one just needed to go in this LP somewhere. Hey, Mr. Otto, I got 4 pieces of treasure, and I hid them all around town. Need a hint? 2 of them are outside, 2 of them are inside. Should have had places that were hard to see. If you look really hard, I bet you can see them. Aw, come on. How cute! No more hints. Aw, really no more hints? Hid one of them near a really pretty window. That one's not going to be easy to get at. Let's get the last hint. Aw, well that's fine. Don't really need a hint for it anyway, I know where they are. Otto, Father Pierre is yet to return. I'm worried about him. There's the one that's near a pretty window. 20 Reval ore. Yeah, Anya is adorable. Finding the ore earlier is what inspires her to do this. But even if you don't find the earlier ore, she'll still help you. Let's see. One of them, a place where lots of grown-ups go. You can do it! Let's see, is this where one of them is? Yep, there's another 10 Reval. Always good. It's all good for something. Let's see, no grown-ups here. No Reval ore, and there's still one more to find. Foreigners lately have been saying that Felghana is a cursed land. It's really a shame. It's just stupid to say such things without any kind of evidence. Yeah, like Hysteria. That's not a cursed place. Oh, right. Kind of was. Yeah. And then he's still hungry. Wait, lots of grown-ups. An inn! That's a brilliant idea, Otto. Where would we possibly... Tenrival. Yeah, I knew. Elena's been worked here ever since the place opened. She's probably taking a break because of Chester. She's a good enough cook to take Margot's place in the kitchen, though. And let's see what Margot has to say about that. Otto, have you seen Elena? I haven't seen her at all today. What is it? Are you worried about Elena? She hasn't managed to shake off her old tomboy habits yet. You don't suppose she's gone out on the road with all the monsters about, do you? There's a hint.